Hello, my friends, and welcome to the February Transformation Tuesday here at Edge. It is Valentine's Day, and I can't think of a better way to spend this Valentine's Day evening and to kick off this evening than to be here with all of you and to be joined by my friend and Edge grad, Astral Cambruzzi. So say hello to Astral.
Hi. Happy
Uh,
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. In case you haven't already noticed, we're both in our red. And no, we did not plan to both wear red this evening, but we are channeling it. And as I was thinking about this evening and knowing that I was going to be on here with all of you, um, I wanted to share a thought about Valentine's Day because we think a lot about those we love on Valentine's Day, those we may have lost on Valentine's Day, whether we are with someone or not with someone. If I were to ask you right now to list all the things you love, how long would it take to name yourself? That, my friends, is the spirit that we are jumping into this conversation today, because that is at the heart of transformation. And that's what Transformation Tuesdays are all about. So if you've been following around, you know that we started Transformation Tuesdays last year as I was getting ready to launch my book, The Peer Revolution. And we started this each month to share some of the stories of the storytellers in the book. 2023 came along, and while we still have 62 more storytellers in the book that we didn't get to feature last year, we're up in the ante in 2023. Because why not? This year is our 10-year anniversary, and in the last 10 years, 10,000 leaders like Astral have gone through our group coaching experiences. So this year's lives are kicked up just that little bit more to share transformational stories from leaders across the globe. So, why do we do this? For two reasons. Number one, to share stories of personal and professional transformation, of people that were one way and transformed into something new. And the second reason that we're here tonight is to remind you that you aren't alone. Because if we can do it, you can do it. So please join us each month. Sometimes it's the second Tuesday of the month. Sometimes it's not. It all depends on the busy schedules on our end. But we always record the lives so you can watch them whenever you want. So with that, I am going to turn it over to you, my dear Astral, to introduce yourself in whatever way you feel inspired to tonight.
Much, Christy. And again, happy Valentine's Day and happy belated. That don't know, Christy just celebrated her birthday. So my name is Astral Cambruzzi. I'm a senior HR business partner in the financial world. And I graduated Edge in 2019, and Edge changed my life. For me, it was the door that allowed me to enter and transform today. And I'm very grateful for everything that Christy done, and she's opened my eyes to so much, and I'm so grateful to be here.
Thank you, my friend. So before we went live, folks, we were chatting about, the Astral pre-edge. And one of the things that we both were giggling about was the Astral pre-edge had just chopped off all her hair. She walked into Edge with her hair shorn, and she was like, all right, I am here. I am showing up. So Astral, take us back to 2019, pre-pandemic times, and tell us your story of transformation in your own words.
Absolutely. So, well, I guess it was 2018, really.
It was.
I was feeling stuck, not work in my career, but just all over. I just felt like something needed. And I don't want to say I was going through a mid-year or a midlife crisis, but I needed something different. And I had always wanted to chop. I didn't. And finally, when I turned 40, I said, you know what? I'm golf. And at that same time, shortly after, actually, and with everything that you taught us around group coaching, around, you know, using your voice, having a seat at the table, and really choosing your words from your gut and not necessarily your heart, to embrace who I am today, or and understand that I can walk into a room and feel empowered. Um, the hair thing was, it was different. I look back on that now and I'm like, I don't think I'd do that again. It was definitely, it made me more confident because you don't have your hair to kind of, people say your hair strength sometimes, I guess. And with that gone, it made me really a little bit deeper, and I learned a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. For sure. Thank you, my friend. And so one of the things that came up for me while you were talking was you said I wasn't going through a midlife crisis per se. And what popped into my mind when you said that, and this is not my words, it's the words of Brene Brown, but she talks about midlife as an unraveling where we
Yes.
start to unlearn the
Mhm.
things that we've taken on that don't suit us, that feel too tight or pinch or are heavy or are weighing us down. And I'm just
Yeah.
curious to your take on that concept of an unraveling.
I mean, yeah. So one of the things that I felt, go after going through Edge, mentioned I was stuck. I felt
Yeah,
stuck,
remember.
and an opportunity to sit back and say, okay, what do I want to do when I grow up, right? And you taught me coaches what to say when we're interact, when others need support. And I took that back to my organization. I want to change some things. This is what I've noticed is the gap. Here's how I want to fix it. Will you let me do it? So with that, I created a coaching program for individuals within IT, and it really it made a huge difference because going through the motions every day, I was actually seeing how what I benefited others in their careers. I saw people getting promoted, having sessions with me, or going through coaching circles with me. Uh, it really it just felt good. It just felt really good.
I watched you light up when you started doing that work, Astral. And then, and I can't even remember the details of if you got the promotion to that or when you left the company. And then, you transformed into this whole career in HR.
Yeah, yeah. So I after I created the program, was promoted,
Yep.
and I've been an organization called WELD, um, Women for Economic Leadership Development. For those of you that
Shout out to Will. Love you, girl.
and um, and I completely lost my train of thought because my dog just busted in the room. Apologize.
I no, don't. The other day, I was on like this very serious call, and my cat like jumped right up, and I didn't even know because I was like really in the moment, and the cat is like walking behind me, and it wasn't until the person on the other line said, "Christy, do you know?" And I'm like, this is real life, right?
I apologize for
No,
that.
no need. Sorry, not sorry, girl. So you were saying you started to do these coaching circles in your
Yes.
organization. You got promoted, and and
Yes.
then yeah,
So
go ahead.
through Weld, I met someone and we became friends. And she started a job at another company and reached out to me. They're looking for someone like me if you are interested. And I said, let's give it a try. And ended up interviewing, did the job, and a very big promotion, I will say. The best thing about it is, money's always nice. Yes. This
Indeed.
position allowed me to get back into HR, to do more HR related. I was not in HR before, doing an HR
You weren't pre-edge.
function, right? Pre-edge. And it's kind of tough when you're in the middle, when you're IT. HR sees you as IT, but then IT folks see you as HR, which you're not, right? So now I'm wearing that hat, and it allows me to do more for those that I support.
Yeah, without a doubt. And as I'm listening
Mhm.
to you, like what's coming up for me is the clarity that you
Yes.
found that those 9 months and the purpose
Yes.
that you identified and were able to wrap words around. And then what made me think of you when I reached out to you to say, hey, would you do a live? Was that you found that clarity and purpose, babe, but then you took it to the next level and you were like, all right, I love this coaching stuff. How can I start coaching circles? How can I start doing office hours and coaching people?
Yes.
Like you took that purpose and you kept your day job and you kept the things you were doing and then you amplified it. And then you put yourself
Yes.
out there with Weld, and you met people that maybe you hadn't met before, and you introduced
Mhm.
yourself to those people, and because you were walking in purpose, they could see it. And because you had that clarity, they could hear it. And then, as you started to increase that external strategic network, in Edge, we talk about the internal strategic network inside the organization that helps you get the promotions that you want to
Yes.
get, the visibility you want to get. But then there's also this external strategic network outside your organization.
Right.
And I just read this great article, and it said that the best test of an external strategic network, the validity of it, the strength of it, is that if you could, right now in this moment, close your eyes, and if you lost your job right now today, you could call 5 people, and all five
Yep.
people would leverage their networks to help you. And you started to
Yep.
build and amplify this external network that ended up creating this dream job for you. And now I get to play with you in your new job, which is great
Yes.
fun for me. But like every time I see you, like the last time we were together and we went and we had lunch, like your eyes were sparkling, your braids were flowing. You were like, and then this, Christy, and then this. And it was just like, oh, babe, like it's just so exciting for me as your friend to watch.
Thank you. I mean, I owe a lot of this to you. I don't know that I would be here today without everything, without the knowledge that you just I mean, there's just so much, between the network, the opportunities. I mean, you think
Right.
about, we talk about sponsor your name when you're not in the room. You're you're a sponsor for me.
Mm.
I know, and the proof is in the pudding. I've been in the room, and it's because you've opened that. Very appreciative to you.
Wow. And right back at you, babe, because you now in turn are a sponsor for me in so many beautiful ways. And isn't that exactly what we want to create? Right?
Yes.
This actionable network of women, and not just women, but folks across the genders and generations supporting one another, almost like a scaffolding that we walk across
Yeah,
in so many beautiful ways.
absolutely.
In so many beautiful ways. So
Absolutely.
to that point, and I would be remiss if I did not, because the coach in me wants to gently remind you, my darling, that I didn't do anything for you. I lit a spark that was already there. I fanned the flames. Actually, the spark was already there. I fanned the flames, but everything you have, everything you've done, you have done. Never
Thank you.
forget that, babe. Never forget that.
Thank
Own that. Because in doing so, everyone who's listening gets permission to own theirs too.
you.
So,
Right.
back to the people who are listening, if you were going to share, what did I say? 3 takeaways from your edge experience, what would you say that they are? Let's say there's somebody who's like, just getting ready to enter into a group coaching experience, whether that's 2 hours or 2 days or 6 months, and heck, let's just even make it even bigger than that. Somebody
Mhm.
who's on the cusp of making a transformation in their life, somebody who's feeling stuck. What were the 3 takeaways that you learned that you would share with them?
Well, the first one I would definitely say, you know, power of your network. And if you don't have a network, when you go to events, that you're making at least one meaning when you go out, right? So when you walk out of that event, when you're leaving that event, connecting with someone on LinkedIn, because we all do that, and you know what happens, you never end up, right? I mean, getting a phone number, setting a
Woo, look
coffee
at you,
date,
big and
you
bold,
know,
Astral Cambruzzi.
bold. Yes. So being intentional, not just strategic, about the connections that you meet. Um, let's say, speaking from your gut. About, is it the heart, the head, and the gut? Am I
Mhm.
getting it right?
Yeah, heart, head,
Um,
belly. I like that
head,
too.
belly,
It's all
yes.
there. Yeah.
So, words from your belly, and being okay with it, right? Embracing it. Um, because so that I would say that's number two.
Love it.
Number oh, really staying connected to the women in your cohort,
That's a good one, babe.
because they'll
One.
make, there's no doubt about it. You will make lifelong. I have three that I can, like, maybe more that I'm just, but really comes into my mind.
Yeah.
That I talk to her almost every week. But there are several
Yeah.
that when we go out to lunch, and um, it's a really special relationship. Hold on to that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Intentional, meaningful connections,
Mhm.
speak from the belly, and friendship, genuine friendship. Um, yeah, love
Mhm.
it. Well, we are just about out of time. So as we close out, my friends, um, what's one piece of advice, Astral, that you want to leave us with today?
Don't be scared.
Hmm.
Just do it. One thing that I have done in the past twice is, when there's something that I really want, and I write down exactly what I want in that note. I put it either in my desk,
Okay.
or I put it on my purse. And twice I've done this, and twice it's come to fruition. And it it works.
Yeah.
So that's my advice. Um, I know just thinking of, I told her about it and she's done it and it recently came. It works.
It works. It works.
It works. The
I
power.
love it. The power of wrapping words around, right? And the language I would use as a coach is declaring it, right? And what I want to leave you with, my friends, tonight, what Astral is sharing is so important for the first step. And you heard her talk about this in the beginning, was finding the clarity, right? But actually, if we're being really honest, the first step is recognizing when we're stuck and knowing that
Yes.
something needs to change. Maybe you don't need to know how it's going to need to change, and you don't need to know what's going to change too. We just need to first acknowledge, all right, this isn't working for me right now. And I bet every single person listening, you can think of a place that you are stuck in your personal or professional life. So stay with me in that moment right now. It is about first recognizing where we're stuck. Second is declaring, I don't want to be stuck anymore. And then the third, where Astral just closed us off so beautifully, is figuring out what it is that you want. And when you know what it is that you want, declare it, write it in a journal, tell a dear friend, put it on a post-it note on your bathroom vanity, or attach it to your, computer screen, or make it your screensaver on your phone. But to
Yep.
declare for yourself, this is what I want, and then watch as the universe conspires to make it happen for you.
I just have to show desk. I don't know if you can read it. Focus, patience, intentional, and what is it? Be brief, be bold, be you. I wrote this bit at my desk just as a reminder.
I love it. And I can't think of a more beautiful way to close us out on this Valentine's Day evening. Be brief, be bold, be you. Thank you all for joining us, Astral. I mean, give it up for Astral, everybody. We will see you soon. Leave us some comments. We will follow up with you afterwards. Thank you for joining us. Be brief, be bold, be you. Until next time.